You freeze water, did you ever notice the crystals in it? Well, the crystals are telling you something. Now, if you've got dirty water, and you've a man by the name of Pfeiffer, P-R-I-F-E-R, in Germany, that used to go to the meat market, and he would study in the cold of the winter the crystals on the windows. And he noticed when they had diseased beef, the crystals were irregular that formed on the windows. So he did a lot of experiment, and he tried it at his home, and they would always break up. So he drilled a hole through his floor and put a rod down in concrete, held it up off the deal so there was no vibration to it, and he grew these crystals in his room. And he wrote about these crystals, and he could find diseases, take a drop of blood and find various diseases in the body. Nobody paid any attention to what he was doing. And he came to this country, and nobody bought his crystal stuff, but he built 2 farms that were the best farms in the United States. And he became very rich. That's Arrowhead Farms and Death Dish Farm were his. Pfeiffer.
Yes, Joe. Once again, how much iron oxide crystals, how much water, what do we do with the 2 of them, and how do we create? I want to make 50 gallons of good water. What do I do?
Oh, I'd have 100 pounds of iron oxide crystals, and I'd play with it, and I'd let it go through the crystal. Then you can drop a handful of the crystal of the iron oxide on the pipe that has got a big, strong magnet on the pipe. That will pull the crystals up against the side and hold it there, and the water that flows by it will structure.
Okay, thank you. If we just pour water through 100 pounds of iron oxide crystals, is that it?
That'll do it. That'll do it away, but you don't have to have that much. You know the difference between sun tea and boiled tea. That's structured water. You can take a tea bag of the crystals, and if you do that, put a quartz crystal, an SiO2 quartz, because that's the lower end, and the magnetite's the upper end. Now you've got 2 energies working in a tea bag. Let the sun on it. When you do that, always crack the top of the lid and put a little piece of cheesecloth or something and let it vent. Let them float out. And then you don't have the chlorine, or these electrified hydrocarbons, pesticides, insecticides, or that stuff in your damn tea. But the sun structures sun tea. It tastes better. It tastes better. You want to know something? You can take one of the purple plates and put the water on the plate, and it'll structure. It'll turn it to the left.
The Austrian forester with his structured water?
That's a good question. Victor Schumberger, I met him, and they're one of the highlights of my whole life. I spent a few hours with, well, quite a few hours for 3 days. Anyway, Victor Schumberger was one of the smartest men I've ever run into, and he done it by observation. He put every hydrologist in the world to shame. He also did this at a certain phase of the moon. He wanted the moon pulling on the logs, and he floated them out. So he did this other thing. Schumberger said, when you run water through a vehicle shaped like a heart, a human heart, or even a half heart, you will make water living water.
What's the best material to make that heart-shaped thing out of?
I've done it with concrete and iron oxides. I just mixed it right into concrete, and it works. It works. Well, I'm sure there is, but I haven't found it all yet. I'm still working on it. Give me a little time. You know, if these heavy metals have the proper polarity, the body will reject them, like 2 magnets that make run. If the germ does not have the proper spin on it, or if the metal doesn't have the proper spin, it ain't going to stay with you.